Right. Boudica.
Indeed.
Wicked hack.
Believe it or not, I actually think that Wicked Hack and Iron Swan are totally fine as they are.
Well, you know what? I think you're a complete idiot because I also think they were fine. The only potential thing I would do is actually with hack, and that would be maybe upping the crit by 5% on both, or giving it the healing received debuff on combo. Because I thought that was really fun. We didn't really get a chance to explore that because the enemies didn't have a lot of healing, but now they do.
Yeah, it's a lot more interesting now because healing received in this game, like especially from the torch effect that you can get, is it also works for regen. So, for example, if you have a flagellant that hits Undying on a person and you have 33% healing received, then it heals you for 7. So now that the enemies and both the heroes have a lot more ways to heal themselves, any kind of negative healing received could be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
then you go into the scenario where Wicked Hack suddenly does quote unquote not enough damage. Even though I think the damage range on it at base, even without the combo effect, is good enough.
It is. I mean, 6 to 10 is pretty good. And then also you have to consider like, what is it? Hellion's got the low health passive. But for people
True.
unaware, when Hellion hits half HP, she gets a 25% damage bonus. When she goes under 25% HP, she gets another 25%. So low health, she has 50% bonus. So she can hit pretty hard. We can hack remove one winded on combo. That could be cool. But yeah, really, this is fine. We said Swan is fine. I agree. This one's a bit tougher. Yop. I think Yop's actually okay.
I think the biggest issue I have with Yop is just that it's such a situational move that it almost like that it just barely feels worth hitting at times. Like, honestly, I wouldn't mind like removing the the combo stun on upgrade and just making it not wind you.
Possibly.
Because honestly, the effect that you get from the Yop is not really worth the minus 33% damage and the minus 3 speed that you get from hitting it.
Yeah, I feel like it's a legacy type of thing because Yop in the first game would give Hellion her winded debuff. It wasn't as strong in the first game. You know, it gave her that, so I felt like they wanted to carry it over into 2, but winded's a bit stronger now. And the issue with Yop in this game is it's not as powerful as it was in the first game. In the first game, it was a very high-powered stun that hit 2 people. In this, it takes combo on 2 people if you want a double stun, and it wins her for that. You know, and the base upgrade or the base version isn't that strong, so I really don't think the winded is warranted anymore, like you were saying.
Yeah, like honestly, like two weaken and removing stealth, and your reward is minus 33% damage and minus 3 speed. Like that's just not worth hitting ever.
Yeah, I mean it's good on Carcass, but you know it's another issue of Paz fixing characters.
Yeah,
We're trying to consider things from the Wanderer perspective. So do we have any ways to buff this? I thought it was fine, but if it needs a buff, what do we do?
I like honestly, legit remove the winded because like it's not necessary for this. And I like the only thing that actually comes to mind is honestly just that like two hitting 2 weak on the front line isn't even the worst thing ever, especially if you don't get winded anymore.
Yeah.
Because the only viable weaken weaken skill in this entire game is Leper's Intimidate. that is legit the only worthwhile skill that weakens people.
You know, I'm trying to think about it, and I think you're right. Oh, well, I mean, I think the new occultist move is pretty good too. The new curse.
True, with the new curses that becomes a lot better.
Yeah, but otherwise, I still largely agree. Intimidate's really good. Yeah, I get Yop could use some help. So I'll switch my vote from it's good to yeah, I could use something. So no problem, Plague. Yeah, weakening curse. Chance for blind might be too strong. It might be. Remove crit on upgrade. I can get behind that.
That could be cool.
Yeah. We need more crit removal that's not robbery and bellow.
Yeah.
If it bleeds, I know you probably got some math on it. I don't think this move is too far off from being like, you know, good. I would rather it's the res piercing. I just want it gone. I don't like that combo interaction. Also, I'm just noticing this now. Why is the whole sentence yellow on base or on mastery, but it says when targeted is in white on the base one? That's so strange.
It's yellow highlights like what's different in the skill, I believe, like when it's on the mastery. If you actually were to like hit it mastery, then the when target becomes white again. It's weird. I don't know why it's like that.
It is weird. And I see what you're saying because the crit goes up, but like the res pierce doesn't change.
Oh, and the base damage also doesn't change. That's that's criminal. Because like if it bleeds, you're hitting from 9 to 12 damage on base. Like, so like this move on its own, I would honestly just increase. If you don't want to increase the base damage and you want to keep it like this, you can like just increasing the dot would be good enough. Like make it from 2 to 4 be a 3 to 4, or even 3 to 5 if you want to go that way by not increasing the base damage.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be okay with that. I definitely want the res pierce combo gone, but I don't know what I'd replace it with. Maybe apply
You could
weak.
do. That was my idea. Honestly, what this game very also needs is just having like certain special or unique effects when a certain dot type is applied.
Yeah.
Like, you know, fire or burn can be spread to other targets. Bleed, maybe like if the character starts moving, they gain another dot tick of bleed. That could be cool, you know, stuff like that. Because right now, the different dot types are literally just damage with a different color. That's all they are.
Totally agree. I think either bleed being weakened or bone or whatever, you know, I think that'd be really cool. So it would definitely fit for something like this. And I keep proposing that like upgraded dot moves get 10% penetration, but like I don't know how you feel about that. It's only 10%,
totally
but I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Simply because 10%, especially if you want to rework the path system as they have been doing by just removing the res pierce entirely, I think that's completely fine.
Cool. Yeah, pretty simple. Like so far, if you notice, we've been advocating for Hellion buffs, even though like her first two moves are fine for the most part.
Yeah.
Toe to toe. This is I swear, this is the one I've had the most trouble with out of all of them, which
The bread and butter.
I know it like maybe it throws people through a loop. I don't know, but like this move isn't overpowered like on its own, but
It's not. It's the
what
it's
it enables.
The fact, like what, like what? It's you know the legacy of howling and toe to toe, howling and toe to toe, howling and toe to toe. That is what this move enabled in early access, and a tiny bit before 1.0 actually, because they gave it a 1 round cooldown, as if that actually changes anything, of course.
Yeah, no,
But
yeah, but
the thing is, I don't think this I don't think this move necessarily needs to be nerfed in any like meaningful way. I think it's fine.
Yeah,
I
honestly.
think like I guess you could advocate, like have it make no taunt, maybe not remove the winded, just keep them in. But then you struggle with how to remove the winded because there's no other skill in this game that does. Although I do have an idea as to how we would do that once we get to actually Howling End. But yeah, I don't know. Like I genuinely don't think this move is as busted as people want to believe.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, on its own, really doesn't do too much. Like nothing broken. Got like, you know, low damage, low crit, removes winded, all that's cool. The double taunt is pretty good, so maybe something could change with that, but like it's just the things it enables, like being able to go into Howling End, or if you really want damage on Bleed Out, you can do that too. It's
Yeah.
kind of crazy. But yeah, I really don't know what to do with this one, so I guess we just we move on.
I'll like the reason I would honestly get rid of the remove winded, but not because I think that it's like way too strong. I would remove the winded because I have an idea in mind for Howling End,
Oh yeah,
which I think like Thick. I think Thick and Anemone and Rainy will probably understand what I'm going for.
yeah. I've definitely heard that one before, so it's really interesting.
Yeah.
In the notes that I have for toe to toe, it says find question marks. I really don't know. But well, I like that Howling ends at the end, so we can, save the best for last for her. But we come to another really strong move, which is Adrenaline Rush.
Yep.
And I think it's honestly, like, on paper it's fine. The issue is that with Freudian slip again, but like Adrenaline Rush, you can use like an item like Crow's Feet, something that hits the entire team and heal like 4 times. And I don't know if that's a bug or what, but I think if you take that away, it'll be fine.
It's also mostly, I would honestly advocate for the gain on attack healing to be a tiny bit lower, like not instead of 20, like 10, even.
On Mastery,
Simply because like, I would honestly like maybe 10 base and then Mastery like 15, just so it's a little bit more in line with, because you're still healing for a lot of health. Then obviously you have the dot cleanse. The dot cleanse, I don't really have a problem with that. I think it's fine. And it also removes winded. Again, I don't think that's like bad, simply because it is the threshold that you need to be at. Below 33%.
Doesn't need a 3-turn cooldown. I think it's fine. Like you don't normally need to hit this, consecutively.
The reason it has a 3-turn cooldown is probably so that you can't just like spam the gain on attack heal percentage,
Yeah, hit both of these, and then for a couple turns, or like if you encore and stuff, or if you have temptation, just heal 40% of your life every time you swing.
Although it would be pretty funny.
I mean, this move's honestly fine.
Yeah, this move's fine. I would just change the reduce the damage that you get from attacking a little bit, and also make it like you said, so that per turn you can only get it once, so that you don't just crow's feed the party and heal for 80% of your HP.
Yeah, exactly. Next one is Bleed Out. This is another thing that, I wish the combo effect was like Weaken or something, and then the 10% dodge chance on Mastery. But otherwise, I think this move is mostly okay. I also kind of want the crit to go, like, instead of 5, make it 10 and then 15. Because this move had a ton of crit in the first game.
I would honestly advocate for a 10 base, 20% mastered, if I'm being perfectly honest.
Okay.
It's mostly, and also one thing that I really would like to see is Bleed Out usable from 1-2, hitting 1-2.
That was because I know we probably talked about this at some point, but a lot of people always want if it bleeds in 1, but that brings back Omni Reach Hellion, which you know, a lot of people don't want. I mean, a lot of people probably want it, but I think it's actually bad for the game health to do that. So, like Crow is saying, I think the change that coincides with what you're saying, Ranger, is like maybe for Berserker, you know, if paths get reworked, let Bleed Out be usable from 2. Because we see that with Flagellant. His paths make it so he can use moves from different spots, so I don't see why Bleed Out can't be usable from 2. So that way you have a pretty good rank 2 build for Hellion instead of, you know, rank 1 Supremacy.
So like that's like the easiest fix. You know, honestly, just increase the crit and make it usable 1-2, hitting 1-2. I mean, that would be perfectly fine.
Alright, see? Chill stuff. Bloodlust, I have no idea how to... I don't know if this is busted or weak, but it's cool. Like, more execution's always fun. So I think that... I want to say it's fine. Maybe make it a battle long buff. Just, like, 5 turns is awkward. But,
it's weird. The reason they made it 5 turns is, I believe, because nobody was hitting this button, and they were like, damn, how can we make this move usable? I know, just increase the duration, Elmao.
Yeah, I mean, 5 turns will get you through an entire, like, normal encounter and, like, half a boss fight, but...
If anything, I wouldn't mind seeing this be like a... sort of both a buff and a debuff, where, like, Bloodlust, instead of removing the Winded, make it so that Hellion bleeds herself, and then on hit, she also bleeds the enemy. And then you could have, like, synergy with itself, where you could have, like, if target is bleeding or if Hellion is bleeding on top of it. So you could have, like, 60% damage, you know, if both you and the enemy are bleeding.
That would get very high very quickly, but it's interesting. The other thing about this is I haven't tested this, so, like, does anyone know? If you stack this, because the buff lasts for 5 turns, but the cooldown's 2. Can you execute 2 if it's stacked up, or is it still 1? And then that begs the question, can you, like, do something absolutely stupid, like Bloodlust, Ethereal Dust, Bloodlust, and hit it again, you know?
If I recall correctly, they removed execution stacking a while back. Like, I don't think it stacks. Because, for example, if you have Bounty Hunter with Kill List, and finish him how it has Execution 2, Kill List does not increase it to Execution 3. So I don't think it's stacked like that. The damage probably would stack, but the execution won't.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, having 60% bonus damage is pretty hot. Like, this is another good Ethereal Dust candidate. Goes to show how many people use Bloodlust. Yeah, I don't. Straight up, this is probably my least hit button in the entire game. It's
I hit this when I didn't upgrade Toto yet to remove Winded. That's like the only time I use it.
Yes. Stack Stab and Sluice Trinket for execution doesn't stack. Okay. Will we talk about BH? Do we need to talk about BH?
I think BH is fine.
Same. Honestly, same. But who knows? You buff Bleed Out for Berserker? Yes. I mean, the targeting change will make it really good, I think, but in terms of, like, more damage and stuff, I'm not sure. I'd rather give more debuff effects than more damage, just because the game is so damage focused right now that I hesitate to give it more. Move the bleed res from if it bleeds and bleed out, but you put it in Bloodlust, maybe. Only have room for so many buttons that aren't attacking in Bloodlust. Idea of making BH normal available? I'm against it. I've been against it since day one. I'm sure there's gonna be a mod when we get mod tools that lets it happen. Okay. Breakthrough. Absolute meme tier, probably the worst skill in the entire game before it got changed, and now it's like solid.
Honestly, if you ask me, like looking at like base Breakthrough is just a worse thrown dagger.
True though.
That is a sentence that I never thought I would be saying.
It's thrown dagger with less crit and it wins you. Holy crap.
Damn.
Well, as this move stands, this is another kind of like legacy thing where Breakthrough in the first game had winded. So I don't think it should have winded in this game. You know, because all the other stuff, forward 2, block prevention stuff, minimal damage for a movement skill, like that all that's okay. But I really don't think it should wind you.
I don't think it, like the winded, it's the same with Yop. Like the winded is just not necessary, because honestly this move, you're only hitting this if your Ravager Hellion gets sent into rank 4 by Blind Rage or something, or Hysteria rather, during the Act 2 fight.
Yep.
So I like this honestly, I would even make it so that it's forward 2 base and then forward 3 on upgrade.
How much? Those numbers again?
Forward 2 base, forward 3 upgraded.
Okay, yeah. I like that.
So in case you're running a rank 2 Hellion, you can keep it as it is. But if you need rank 1 Hellion, you can just upgrade it and send yourself into rank 1 immediately again.
Okay, I dig it. Cool. Let's see. Wasn't Breakthrough Cleave in DD1? It was. And yeah, I don't know why it has a cooldown. I don't really care about the cooldown. I don't mind if it has it. I don't mind if it gets removed. I just don't. 80% damage per row move forward. Well, it's always like +2. Unless you use it out of 2, but who's gonna do that? Yeah, originally in 2, it was a cleave, but it hit for like 1 damage. Like 0 to 1 or something like that with no crit.
Yeah.
It was so bad. And I think it ignored guard. And it's like, you're already hitting 3 people. Whoever's guarded is probably getting hit with the guard person. Just so bad, man. Yeah. Do we have anything else? I like your proposed idea. I think those are good.
Yeah, like I think it's like remove the winded, it can move forward 3 on upgrade, give it maybe 10 crit on upgrade as well, and call it a day.
Oh, yeah, I'm down with that. Revelry. This is pretty cool. The issue is that stress healing thresholds are garbage. And so this doesn't really do anything when healing the party. It's kind of a nice bonus. So it's really just to heal Hellion. But otherwise, I think it's a fine move. You know, it doesn't have a use limit. It wins her, which makes sense. You're drinking. Removes horror, debuff res, or DBR res, boost. Like, all of it's cool.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind seeing it so that it's like allies stress 5+ to be -2 stress instead. Either that, or you can keep it -2 on like both upgrade and base, like for herself, but decrease the stress threshold so that it's actually doing something.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely it gets tougher to balance at that point, because I don't think anyone's trying to go back to like old ounce or old bolster and stuff.
Yeah, like that. I don't want that either, but it's mostly just that the stress healing thresholds are very punishing for no real reason.
Yes.
It's sort of a legacy thing from like early access days that hasn't been addressed.
Yeah, totally agree. If you give stress res to the party instead of healing them.
But then you would have to hit this like before you're already stressed, you know? And that's like, again, it kind of, it's difficult. It's definitely one of the harder ones to balance, because you know,
it's one of those ones. It really doesn't feel like it needs a change, but it doesn't feel like, if it's just to heal Hellion for stress and HP, it's fine. But then it's got the party interaction, and the party interaction doesn't feel amazing. But like, the move already does a lot. Does it need the party interaction at that point? Or do we go like a step further and give it the like DD1 modded tooltip, where it's like, at 5 stress, heal 1, at 7 stress, heal 2, at 9 stress, heal 3 on the party? Just something crazy like that, but then I think the drawback has to be much bigger too.
Yeah, it's weird.
All right, so anything else with booze, the moonshine?
No, I think I've exhausted my opinions on that.
All right, and that's all for Hellion. We're not gonna talk about Hellion. I'm kidding. HE.
HE, the classic.
The
So
epitome
honestly-
of Red Hook balance. We have like the original Howling End, which was like 1 turn cooldown, 10 to 18 damage, ignored block, and then we had Wicked Hack on the same character.
Yeah.
Let me know.
So, honestly, Red Hook has tried to balance this move like several times, not realizing what the biggest issue with it was, which is the fact that you can hit this turn 1. As long as you're able to hit this turn 1, then and turn the a 4v4 into a 3v4, then it's still gonna be good. So the issue that is that like this wins you for some reason, but it's completely irrelevant because by the time you hit this button, something's already dead. So the winded no longer matters at that point. But the suggestion that I agree with, and a lot of people have suggested in the past already, was that this move would have less damage at the start, and it would get extra additional damage the more winded tokens you have on you. So you hit this when you're like at 3 winded, and then you could be hitting for something like 15-20 damage, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it also removes all the winded, so you can just so you can cycle that back again.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like it because, like you're saying, you hit this on turn 1, something dies usually. So having it change to where it scales with winded could be, really cool and fun. And I think Vestal might be a decent like comparison in that regard because her stuff scales with conviction. So it's like, what if this scaled a different way with winded, like different effects? I don't know what those effects would be, but it's like at 1 winded it does something, at 2 winded does something else, 3 winded does everything, right?
Yeah.
Wow, is that really all we got for this? I thought this was gonna be much longer.
I mean, like, honestly, like, the only thing I can really talk about is just how unbalanced it is. Because, like, look, this is a move that can hit from 1-2, hitting 1-2, and Bleed Out can hit 1-1, and it's way worse than this.
Yeah, I think what's funny with it too is like, just it does courageous abandon damage with like less setup, fewer drawbacks.
Yeah.
Like it's so silly, man. It's so
Also,
silly.
Snake says, well, I don't know if people want to play around winded. That's the thing, you don't have to. If you don't equip this, you don't have to play around winded. That's the point.
Yeah, you can just run Wicked Hack and Iron Swan and do just fine. Like I've done it. I have ran Hellion that way. It performs. So. But the other thing too is like if you don't want to interact with winded, then why play the character? Like everyone has their own mechanics and stuff. It's like I don't want to deal with unchecked power, so I don't play Occultist. But also you just don't have to run the unchecked power moves. With Vestal, it's like I don't want to play around Conviction. I don't know why you wouldn't because they're just buffs. But like I don't know. Make Carcass good, not gonna lie. Well, yeah, we're not saying that this is just in a vacuum where paths don't get reworked. We're just not talking about paths. But yeah, like if this got changed to scale off winded, then yeah, Carcass would have to have something change. So it's not just the best path.
Like we're trying to talk the most like in a very solid vacuum where it's just Wanderer. Think of it that way.
Yes. That is correct. Can we move on to the Bonchan?
Yep. And trust me, I have a lot of things I want to talk about with this character.
All right. She. Hold on, I put her farther down on my list than I thought. Okay. So we were originally supposed to do this video last week, but I had to cancel at the last minute because I wasn't quite ready, and it was because I was on this character for so long. I was writing, I was racking my brain so much to help her and to make her better and stuff. It has been a struggle, I will say.
Yeah.
So you got a lot to say. Lay it on me. I'm gonna drink some water. Listen intently.
So the first point I'm trying to argue, or trying to show people, is the fact that Searing Strike, as it is base, is quite literally just a worse Firefly. That is
Firefly
like
or Incision?
Firefly.
Okay.
Like Firefly does more damage, and it also has, it has better targeting in a very strict sense. The other important thing to note about Searing Strike is the fact that this is the only, and I mean this is the only dot move that has direct damage plus dot that cannot be hit out of rank 3. Every other dot move, such as Open Vein, Slice Off, Incision, every single one of them can be hit out of rank 3. This one cannot, for some reason.
That is strange.
Upgraded, or not upgraded, when you combo unupgraded, you do like 15 to 18 damage with this, which is then better than Firefly, but even then, Firefly already does 11 to 13 damage base, so you're not even getting too much out of it, even on, and the upgrade is very strange scaling too. So like that's just two issues, and I've only started this character, and it's very glaring issues, especially with Firefly, where Firefly gets buffed by Orphan to such an enormous degree that you just shove her into rank 4 and call it a day, because she is the only character that can actually perform there with the path that you're running, which is Orphan.
Yeah, I mean, just another reason paths need to get fixed, but like, there is a lot wrong with this move, and it's at the point where myself, and I'm sure other people, have just boiled Runaway down to 3 buttons, and it's Firefly, Smokescreen, and Cauterize, because those are consistent, dependable, control burn to an extent too, and you put her in rank 4 where she's not fighting for space. So with Searing Strike, actually, let me look. How bad is it compared to Incision?
I can tell you, actually.
Okay, because I mean, Incision just does
Searing
more
Strike,
dot, more crit and stuff.
Yeah, like Searing Strike is 5% crit chance with 9 to 12 damage on base, 15 to 18 on the combo, and Incision is 12 to 15 with 10% crit.
Yeah, that just seems quite a bit weaker.
The best comparison Searing Strike has is if it bleeds, because that's the same damage base.
Okay, that makes sense. So Searing Strike, I'm seeing in the chat people are talking about, changing some of the effects, like if it hits a burning target, it does more damage, or some other interaction stuff. And it's like that would be cool. Other things too would be like, since I've been talking about shying away from damage like this whole time, but with Runaway and Searing Strike, and obviously Ranger, jump in when you feel the need to, but like I do want this move to get more damage, so like bump it up a tier, so like instead of 3 to 6 then 4 to 7, make it like 4 to 7 then like 5 to 8 or something. And I would change the combo effects to not being double burn damage, instead make it like a blind or a healing receive debuff or something like that.
I honestly wouldn't mind that, just to give Runaway something, because right now she just has nothing. Like, she genuinely just has nothing. Especially with this move that's supposed to be her bread and butter, and yet it's just terrible. On the other hand, you could also make the combo effect like a burn spread.
True.
Also, I wouldn't mind seeing it like that you like that if a person's already burning, the burn that you apply again increases. Like maybe instead of like you apply 2 when they're not burning, and then 3 when they are burning already. Just
Get
so
a
you can
nice
stack
ramping
it
effect.
like higher. Yeah. Or you could also make it like if you want to keep the targeting as it is, which is 1-2, then I would also make her able to hit rank 3 instead, so you can just switch those around.
Yeah, that was something
Like
else
it,
that popped up, like
like
giving it more range. Honestly, as it is, sure. It's not a great move on its own. More range would be welcome. I kind of don't want it usable from 3. I'd rather it be like Crush where it hits 3. But that's just because, me personally, and whatever stupid ideas I'm having is like, I would rather have like 2 ways to play her. So like back rank Runaway and then like front, where things change, with Paz and all that, instead of like Plague Doctor, who is just 4-3. Are you using melee? Okay, she's 4. And that's almost
yeah.
where Runaway would go, depending on that stuff.
Like this character just needs so much. And like I definitely wouldn't mind like what you suggested, having like a front line and a back line sort of base kit, but you could then alter with like paths. The issue with it is the fact that the base kit is so broken that even if you made the pass now, it wouldn't even work.
Honestly, yeah. Needs a redesign for a specific rank. I don't know about that. I mean, she's got dance move.
No, I mean like the game called like says any rank, right, in her info, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, let me look. Front rank. What? She's.
What?
I need to change this, dude. He's a back rank hero now.
Also, I love how it says stealth, but like stealth, nah.
Got 1 support. Yeah, I got a 3 use heal. All right, cool. No, I'm kidding. She's got
Like
enough support stuff. She's actually not too bad as a support character. It's just that, as we've been saying, that the game's very damage focused. So support that doesn't kill enemies quickly is not usually good, or as good as it could.
I wouldn't mind. I honestly would not mind seeing Runaways, instead of it being like on combo, I would make it on stealth. So you would actually have a reason to hit run and hide.
On comp, what? Oh, so when you're in stealth, it does the bonus effect. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Because like right now, there's literally 0 reason to hit run and hide. It's actually so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't exist until mastery, and even then, it's not good.
So like having an actual reason to hit it, so that you can like bleed. You can burn more things, like maybe Searing Strike, make it so that it's 4 burn. Well, like when you're doing 4 burn plus 3 to 6 damage, it's not even that bad anymore. It's just that it requires that. It has a requirement of stealth in it. Firefly, you can make it so that it has the burn spread on stealth.
Yeah, that was since you mentioned it, going into Firefly, this was another one. I was like, it's almost fine, but then I look at how Plague Grenade exists, which really limits other design space. Because this is like Plague Grenade hitting 1 person, essentially, as it is.
Yeah,
it's not amazing. So again, one of the few times I'll advocate for higher damage. So like 4 burn at base, and then like 5 on master, where it stays the same, and then like maybe 5 crit on each tier. And I don't know, maybe upgrade the burn spread, something like that. But it, as good of a move as it is, it's still kind of weak in the grand scheme of things, and it's just because Bonnie isn't that strong.
Yeah. And also the fact that the burn spread itself stays 3 instead of like I wouldn't mind seeing this go up to 5 on the burn spread.
Definitely. It's weird it doesn't scale, honestly.
It is a bit strange.
Right, so we're talking about buffing. Is there anything else with it?
Like one of my original ideas was make Firefly be usable from rank 2, but then it just devolves into why would you even run Searing Strike at that point, you know?
Yeah, it would definitely kind of muscle Searing Strike out. It already does that by virtue of just being a safer ability and a more consistent ability. But then, like, you would just essentially delete Searing Strike if it was changed any further.
And I don't want that, so...
Yeah. Okay. We get to Smokescreen, which is one of the best mastery points that you can spend in the game, which is very strange on a character that overall isn't, like, super powerful. But, given, like, a long time ago when this got buffed, I thought it should get nerfed a bit because I felt it was too strong. But honestly, the way the game has progressed and damage being so strong currently, like both direct damage and over time damage, I almost want Smokescreen to stay as is, and I wouldn't touch it.
I agree. I would not touch this.
Ooh.
If you take this, if you were to change this or nerf this in any kind of way, then suddenly Runaway turns from a Firefly cauterized Smokescreen hero into a Firefly cauterized hero. Because there would be basically no reason to hit this ever.
Yeah, true. Alright. Run and Hide, an ability that doesn't exist until you master it. It is just really...
It has a 2-turn cooldown for some insane reason.
Oh yeah. I know, it's like the stealth stacking doesn't even really matter anymore because they nerfed that. So if she's the only person alive, she just gets hit. So with Run and Hide, I think that, like, maybe give it the regen at base and then like dodge generation at mastery. I'm not sure. Or upgrade the regen. But it's really just, it's so low impact right now. Low tempo, as we like to say.
I guess if you really wanted to, you could make it give like 2 regen at base, and then 3 regen and on upgrade. But I would also make it so that on mastery it also increased your burn chance, like maybe 10%. Just 10. Nothing, not like 33, not 25, just 10. Just 10%.
Definitely. Her in-item you could burn with the... the Librarian was stealthing. Yeah, before Librarian was burn immune. Wish you could choose where to go with Run and Hide. That'd be cool. Just make it a glorified move button. Sure. Smoke-oriented path.
Is this like a discussion where in DD1 Shadow Fade used to stun the enemy?
Yeah. People don't know that one, man. That's why Shadow Fade still has the yellow border, because Red Hook never changed it. Alright. Run and Hide, not very good. Definitely needs any kind of help. You know?
Yeah, just need something, you know?
Give her Execution for 1 turn. Her moves suck with on-hit damage, but you know what? She has Execution. 50% chance of stealth token on turn start? Sure. Why not? Anything is better than what it is now. Honestly. Yeah. Hearthlight. In the running for most trash skill in the game, alongside Run and Hide. It's amazing how 2 of these are on the same character. But, Hearthlight's, you know, purging stealth and essentially dodge off everyone is not great. Like, it's just straight up not great. The upgrade is okay, because removing a bunch of blind from people, that can be helpful sometimes, because, you know, like, you go into the Shroud, you get hit by fog and stuff, like, being able to cure all that blind would be very nice. But even with that, this move is just not good. So, do you have any ideas on what to do with it?
So, Hearthlight, as you've already mentioned, is quite literally the worst skill that I have ever seen. But I honestly want to see the removing combo, or not removing combo. I'm stupid. Removing blind like base, and then on upgrade, I wouldn't mind seeing it so that for 1 or maybe even 2 turns, your party cannot be blinded. If this wants to be an anti-debuff move, it needs to have something like that.
Yeah, or increase the party's debuff resistance for like 3 turns, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You can increase the cooldown as well, but this move wants to be something, but it's also nothing at the same time, if that makes sense.
Oh, totally. And honestly, I think just the blind prevention you're talking about, that could be cool. That might be enough. Or other ideas, like if you wanted to give it some offensive focus, I was thinking like give the enemies a debuff that it hits, where they take like increased burn duration, something silly like that. I don't know if that would work.
Yeah, or you can roleplay Infernal Taskmaster and just decrease the enemy party's debuff or burn res.
Yeah.
With the move.
So you can do that, and then also hit the enemies with like 3 damage and stress them and burn them. I think that'd make it pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Give the enemies blind, sure, why not? They hate the light. Is there anything else? Like, this move needs a lot of help, but I don't have a lot of answers. One.
I honestly, yeah, like the if you make it so that it's like Magnesium Rain, then it's just bad Magnesium Rain. If you make it like that, it removes blind and it gives you the debuff res, then it's actually somewhat okay, supportive.
What if it removed combo on the party?
That could be interesting too. Like this game is extremely starved on debuff res generation, because there's like 1 trinket that does it, 1 path that does it, and 1 in item, which is cheese and apple.
Yeah. I understand why debuff res is a bit starved, because like 5 or something negative tokens depend on it. Like, I understand that it shouldn't be strong, but at the same time, it's like it feels like you get hit by every debuff that happens, because everyone's just got like crap debuff res. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like 20, except for a cultist who has like 40.
Yeah, like I'm gonna click through these. Like Bonnie 20, Edie is 20 base. She has a alchemist here. 30 on grave robber, 30 on dismiss with a buff. Man arms 20, Hellion 20, Runaway 20, Jester 30, Leopard 20, Cultist 40, good for him. Flagellant 20, Vestal 30. So like debuff res just doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Maybe that's it.
Like I genuinely think that that's the best way Heartlight can go. Like, not be an offensive tool, but rather a support tool, in that regard.
Yeah. You praise the sun. Blind removal on base, and then blind enemies with combo removal on like mastery. That could be cool. What if unupgraded transfers blind to the corresponding matching rank? I mean, it's a cool idea, but I feel like that would be a bit too like, it might be a nightmare to code, but then also like it would just be a
It would be extremely niche.
Yes, thank you. I mean, like, what if you take blind off of your rank 4 and there's no one in rank 4, Debuff res but higher cooldown, maybe. Hearthlight stresses Bonnie because it reminds her of her parents, and it's thematic. True thick.
True thick, I agree.
Alright, I'll just move on. Ransack, another like actual not good move. Not sure what to do with it. I was just gonna like up the damage, like make it 4 to 8 base or something stupid, like 6 to 9.
My question is, why can't this pull rank 4? And why can't it
really
hit rank 1?
Yeah. Like, give it Omni Reach. Just make it puncture.
Like,
Steal tokens
I
on.
honestly wouldn't mind, like, make it so that you can't use it in 1, and it can hit rank 4, but can't hit rank 1. Like, this move should just not be able to hit rank 1 if it's a pull.
Honestly, yeah, you know, it should be on the player to have the foresight to run Steering Strike or something like that, because that's your melee kit, you know? Most of the time, rank 4 is what you want to pull anyway. True. Bring back Steal tokens on combo. I'd be down with that, sure. Omni Reach again? No, we're talking about it not being usable in 1 and not hitting 1. I mean, it's almost Omni Reach, dude. It's like one off. Every other character with Omni Reach is fine. No, dude. I don't think I've advocated for a single Omni Reach character this stream, like this video, whatever you want to call it. So,
and honestly, the weird combo effect on Ransack just doesn't make much sense either.
I know.
I would much rather this be like steal positive token on combo at base, and then steal 2 positive tokens on combo on upgrade, something like that.
Well, 2 things. 1, makes total sense because, you know, when you ransack something, you're like, you know, taking things. 2, it'll never happen because Dismas has combo theft or token theft, and it's exclusive to him. Red Hook said so.
Damn.
I'm kidding. It's too strong. This move sucks, dude.
This move is horrible. What do you mean that's too strong, bro?
It's fine. But yeah, the other thing too with the combo effect, when does it decide to burn an enemy? Is it when you hit them or when they get moved? Like, who gets burned?
I assume, if I remember correctly, it's first it moves, then it burns.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, what if you pull someone into 2 and it burns 4? That'd look weird.
Like, a movement is always the if I recall correctly, the hierarchy of like move, resist, and movement itself is at the top of the effects that happen in the code. So presumably, first it pulls and then it burns.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's always important to remember the PEMDAS in terms of what the game does.
True.
Yeah, I mean, Cauterize just needs like a little damage or some more utility, something. So,
Cauterize.
Cauterize. I honestly think it's almost okay. I'd give it a cooldown instead of the use limit, like a 1-turn cooldown. That's it.
Yeah. Like I don't. This move is like I'll see. I understand why it has the use limit, because bleed is a very common dot in the entire game. Like I think every region has bleed.
It
but
can. Yeah.
But on the other hand, it's like it's already like so niche. Like I wouldn't mind seeing it instead of a cooldown, but I would also maybe potentially give it a threshold of like below 50% HP if you want to go that route. Like if it has a no use limit but has a cooldown instead.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I wouldn't touch the amounts either. I feel like,
Nah, I think that's fine.
yeah, 1-turn cooldown, whatever. And yeah, like you were saying, bleed is in every single region just because pillagers exist. So that makes light and bleed technically available anywhere between them and go.
Yeah.
So it's not even a bad move on its own. It's just only being able to use it 3 times kind of sucks for a support character. And I saw someone mention that why doesn't it cleanse all dots? Because then it's just battlefield medicine. I'd rather have something you can consistently cure burns or bleeds with. Because, I mean, what she can do? Run out of fire? So she can't cauterize someone? I don't think so. But, you know, meanwhile, Plague Doctor, yeah, runs out of medicine mid-combat.
Well, actually, I think it should remove the bleed and replace it with burn, so that it's your magic.
Becomes weird reconstruction. We all know how that turned out. Usable from 1, sure. Why not?
Honestly, I would make it under reach. I seem to recall a time when this move couldn't be used from rank 4, but could be used from rank 1.
Yep, that's before it got changed, then the targeting flip. All right, until I'm running out of energy, but still got enough to at least finish this character. Controlled burn might be okay.
Honestly,
it got pretty good.
I don't think it's even like that bad anymore.
Yeah.
I would honestly just make controlled burn, since it is a rank based thing. I would just make it that it ignores like the blind and dodge, which is used to like in early access.
Yeah. And I mean, that only applies to the first hit too, so it's just like all the other stuff is just fine. And it's a boss killer. That's primarily what you use it for, yeah. Like multi-action bosses, you just drop it on them and they burn it up.
Yeah.
So it's like Malediction before the Malediction buff almost.
True.
I don't know if that makes sense, but thank you for agreeing with me. Does it need any changes? I think it's fine.
I honestly think that this is okay. Like I said, I would just like it so that it ignores like stealth, blind, and combo.
Okay.
Sorry, stealth, blind, and dodge.
Have it clear corpses? What if it burned a corpse? Maybe. Would that be too much utility? Who knows? Dragonfly. I'm actually gonna call for a nerf. Just because it's
Dragonfly.
It's a
surprisingly, yeah. Like Dragonfly base does 14 to 20 damage on 2 ranks.
It's pretty good. Like and it buffs up to it's weird. It's like worse than Plague Grenade, then it buffs up to be like slightly better Plague Grenade, but it hits the front.
Yeah.
And then, you move back or whatever, but you can fix that.
So if anything, like I think the skill actually does is it. I can't believe I'm saying this about Bonnie, but a bit too efficient at what it does.
It is.
It's especially good in the Tangle because you have the foot soldiers there, you ping off their block, and you burn them because of their extremely low burn res, and you damage them as well for a tiny bit of damage.
And you might combo them. Super good. So I was thinking to actually nerf this, and it would just be like, when mastered, take the burn down a damage, make it like 3 instead of 4.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's perfectly fine.
I mean, it keeps the same garbage 5 crit. It doesn't get 2 to 3 on hit damage like Plague Grenade, so it doesn't give you the respect of being able to not hit 0 on a block token. Insane. Usually I don't want to spam it. I mean, you could spam this. Like before a lot of the Runaway changes, I used to runners just like Dragonfly spam, and it worked out very well. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Firestarter, I think is okay. Maybe take off the use limit. Like if I want to use this every 2 turns, who cares? It's essentially like 6 or 9 damage outside of like riposte and extra turns. That can also be resisted. Like, is that necessarily bad? Well, I guess you can cleave with it. That makes it worse.
If anything, this is gonna be no pun intended, a hot take, but I would actually argue that I think this could also give Bonnie something, like give her like when she uses it on somebody, make it so that for 3 turns she gets like 1 additional dot tick or like 1 additional burn dot on her attacks.
Yeah.
Simply because like if you hit this, you're essentially giving your turn to somebody else.
Yeah.
And obviously, you can argue like,
Well, Firestrider and Roof Spaghetti is super good.
and it is, but at the same time, you're still wasting Bonnie's turn to buff somebody else.
Yeah. And I mean, 6 to 9 damage, that's almost spending your turn to actually no, it's 6 to 9. No, it is duration. Actually no, you can hit them multiple times, so maybe that's maybe that is okay. But I know some people are saying like give her let her get the buff or a weaker version. That could be cool. But it's not like a bad move, it's just a little bit it's not quite desirable. Like, I really don't find myself using this outside of Orphan. Is it backdraft time?
It is. And backdraft is quite literally the second worst skill I have ever seen. I honestly, I have no fucking idea. I legit have no idea how to fix this move.
Well,
My original idea was make it so that it doesn't like do just the one target, but instead it would just cleave the rest of the party, like behind the target or behind the enemy in front.
yeah, I mean, that would pretty much make it so you have to use either items or like magnesium rain to set it up, but you know, that's something. The thing that I was thinking about, because it used to scale with damage and crit and stuff like that, and that made it fun. And it was definitely not overpowered, but they removed that. I think it was more to punish cause of death than anything. But, you know,
Yeah.
Backdraft got hit by it too. You know, Backdraft was caught in the backdraft, if you will. And for changing how it works, I feel like it'd be tough. But it already ignores guard. And I think it should ignore block. And then instead of the starting out at like 50% remaining damage, make it so it's 100% base damage, and then like 125. Just make it hit hard, you know. Like if I'm gonna sit there and load up the front guy with, you know, 35 damage in burn, I would like to be able to hit the next one for, you know, part of that.
Yeah. Like this move is just so niche and by God near unusable that it's actually hilarious.
Yeah, like it was definitely not dominating anything until at any point, you know. It's like it was a meme thing. You felt accomplished when you hit like a 50 damage backdraft on the vulnerable back lung, you know. But now you
Yeah.
can't. Gone. And yeah, the thing that holds this move back really is just the lack of burn characters in the game. So I don't know if we get another burn character at some point. Like maybe we get, I don't know, Runaway's older adopted brother, the pyromaniac, and he, I don't know, casts Chaos Fireball and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Just upcasts a level 6 fireball, bro.
Exactly. Get some meta magic. You know, jump back to the 3.5 Pathfinder days and stuff. But this move is hey, shit ass. Forgot about that. Pyro from TF2, maybe. Made for a game where you actually want to fight front to back. That's another good point. You know, the way Darkest Dungeon 1 and 2 have been is that you want to usually you work from the back and go forward. So it's like you kill the back rank enemies because they're squishier but also have some devastating moves. It's not just like regular damage. And so you want to kill them first. And backdraft is like, I want to dot the hell out of the front dudes and then hit someone behind it on like turn 3. That just doesn't work too much. Hydrate, thank you.
Damn, did we just spend 40 minutes talking about Runaway? We did.
I mean, we spent about 45, 50 on PD, so.
True.
Let's see.
At least we're actually getting into territory where I think the rest of these characters are mostly fine.
Yeah, I mean, just to give people a preview here. Like, Flagellant, you know, rein in more, and change something on Scourge. That's all I have. Occultist, I would almost not touch. Like, there's like 1 or 2 small changes. Leper, probably a redesign. Actually, no, Leper's pretty good on everything. Except for like a couple outliers. Flagellant's so strong. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. Jester, pretty easy. Like, I have 2 changes for Jester, you know. So
yeah.
it's gonna be Shrimple going forward, I think. Upgrade backdraft has a chance to get Bonnie bonus action on backdraft kill. So like the that book trinket or whatever. Maybe. Legend should be strong since death exists. Well, he hard counters death. So it's like, I don't even think that's a thing, you know, like a mitigating circumstance. Do we buff everyone because Collector exists and you need a trophy? Probably not. But Flagellant's undeniably strong.
He is. I think that's I think that's, you know, not even debatable.
Yeah. All right, I might I said Shrimple stream's over. I'm sorry, the DD cord leaked into me. But Collector's easy. Yeah, someone who hasn't fought the ordained elite version of Collector in Region 2. I see. Yeah, I think it's a good place to stop unless you got some like closing comments though.
Buff take aim.
I hate you. And that's it for the stream. Thanks everyone for being here. Thanks, Ranger. And we'll definitely be talking soon. We'll have to schedule part 2. Maybe the same day next week, I'm not sure.
Hope you guys have a great rest of your Halloween night, though.
Oh, that's right, it's Halloween. Stay safe out there. Check for razor blades. Check for Collector. Probably out there to take your can.
True.
Alright, goodbye.